Madalitso Band hail all the way from Malawi, discovered on the streets of Lilongwe outside a shopping centre and later picked up by European label Bongo Joe. They currently have 2 albums on the table, with a third one well on the way. They are Yobu Maligwa and Yosefe Kelikeni, and are accompanied by tour manager and discreet third member Neil Nair. And it turns out that all 3 are deep into their nighttime dreams, which is just as well as this channel is dedicated to investigating just that topic. Here's a taster of what to expect in this podcast.
So, walking down the street, he said he felt sick. Everything went dark, sat down, got up to go, and they looked up and they saw the sun, but then the sun got cut in half, like it got split in half, like it was torn. And then from the center of the sun came a fire.
Fire came to me.
So they kind of just came and struck him and knocked him down to the ground, like that on the floor.
I think 10 minutes, 10, 15, 30 minutes.
Maybe 30
wake up.
minutes. And then he woke up.
So see different anything.
30 minutes later, I kind of woke up and everything.
They
looked
fly,
different.
people, the angelical fly.
You're seeing the angels flying.
Yeah, and you see anything, anything in the person.
Body,
people,
like
yeah.
my bones.
Yeah.
And then I could see inside the person. Like fupa.
Yeah, fupa, yeah.
Like
and everything.
everything.
Yeah, problem. Yeah, you see.
The person's problems and everything.
Yeah. Now he's now to vision anything at any time. Vision, yeah.
After that moment, then from that moment he was like beginning to have visions and see. So yeah, there's different people, even traditional kind of, but who interpret dreams. But now the main people they come to is like a pastor, like Yobu. It's a pastor, so as well people come to him to tell them about his dreams and to get interpretation.
So do you remember your first big dream when you were young?
Full. We now have. We now small.
3 moons, like one full, one half, one small.
Okay, that's pretty amazing, because I feel I had the same dream. I had a dream. I was up on the top. It was marshy. 1 moon here, 1 moon here, 1 moon here.
Wow, it's my brother. Yeah.
Hello, dreamers. Welcome to Dream-AnalysisUK first ever podcast. And today we're going to be chatting to the Madalitso Band. So I had the great honour of greeting the Madalitso Band. When was it, Neil? 2019?
19, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I had like 2 weeks notice. And at the time, Facebook was doing this thing where you could put videos on the event header, and then I boosted it for like £13, and for once the Facebook algorithm was on my side, and it went crazy, and we were like turning people away, and it was a wonderful gig. And at one point the boys start playing and they're kind of jamming along, and then all of a sudden this beautiful voice came out of Yobu here, and the room lit up. We've put them on a few times since. And the last time we were chatting in the kitchen, and of course we ended up talking about dreams. And it was such a good conversation. We all agreed we should record this conversation, and that's what we're doing here today. So my first question to Yobu is, what was the first dream that was a big dream to you, like the most important dream, the dream that made you feel, hey, what's going on here?
Maloro yamba wapamvu. So my first big dream, it was about my life, but there was these 2 dragons. So one was a good dragon
And bad
dragon, yeah.
He's fighting.
They were fighting.
Yeah. Now fighting, I'm Olympian. I'm in China.
They were fighting because of him.
When I am killing me,
Okay.
when I protect me.
Yeah, you understand? One was trying to kill him, the other one protect him.
Now, yoipa yo anarani anagonja.
Okay, the bad one gave up at some point.
Wabwino yo ananditenga. She is like fly.
So the good one took him like, come on my back. You there?
Paka na mwamba. Tinapezeka kuti ndinzangayo to play music in the
So
mwamba.
the other dragon took him up
Koma
above the clouds, and then he found his friend there playing
tili
guitar.
vansana pa dragon.
And then they were together on the dragon's back. He was playing his guitar.
Amazing. And is this before you met Joseph?
Oh, ali tawe mwe nali sana kumane Diosefe wa kumana gari.
Titakumana gale tili ku Europe konkuno.
Okay, no, they already met before.
Okay. It's a beautiful dream. Okay. And the dragon, I'm sure we've got many books on dragons. We're in the Folklore Centre, forgot to mention that, in Todmorden. But it's a very powerful energy.
Yeah. And the second dream, many years ago, is like the end of our Lord. People is killing every people to fighting. Anaminyana antambiri kuminyana. As dan hambira mafa. In Matawa, she's like David kwenda pa nyanja dasanduka grasshopper. She's fly. Yeah.
Another big dream was, it was like the end of the world and everybody was fighting. There was a war and he was running along, and then at some point he turned into a grasshopper and flew over the ocean and just like flew away.
It's very handy, though. It's very handy. And so in Malawi, how do people talk about their dreams often?
Ku Malawi, amalankola kwambiri mwene Yosefe kozo kuyanka somwe. Yosefe can answer that one, isn't it? Like amalankola kwambiri sa maloro ku Malawi.
Yeah, zamaloro zimenezo. Wambia watu yangu tu zamaloro zimenezo.
Yeah, people talk a lot about dreams in Malawi, and then Yosefe is saying, sometimes the dream is talking about the past or the future. But yeah, Ed, amalankola kwambiri Malawi.
Yes.
Everybody?
Yeah. Ameankola. Kwa basi.
Even like ordinary people?
Yes. Ameankola. Wakulu wangono. Ameankola.
Yeah. It's
Kama kwambiri alnangona ngono. She's dream too much.
And do you have like dream interpreters? Is there someone that's sort of like qualified or looked upon as a authority?
Like alipo like ameni akozuku.
Kama number one now is pastor. Nyankati like me, people is coming to home. Yeah, to preaching of dream. Yeah.
So yeah, there's different people, even traditional kind of, but who interpret dreams. But now the main people they come to is like a pastor, like Yobu. It's a pastor, so as well people come to him to tell them about his dreams and to get interpretation.
Okay.
So he's a kind of authority on that in Malawi.
And how do people know to come to you?
Well, like atua maziwa baji like
Madia pali muntu wina wake adala maswala maloto anga. Tatini mupita kwa kuti.
It's like word of mouth, like Lilongwe. So somebody said, oh, they went to him, and somebody said, oh yeah, but there's this guy over there, and I went to him and he explained my dream, so you should go to him, that kind of thing.
Okay. and like, how often does that happen?
Like, you mean like to people coming to us
for dreams specifically?
Like how like every day, like amabuela ku funza maloto, like 1 week, one time, or like
anytime.
Like
people's come
every day.
Every day, people's come.
Oh.
Yeah, it's different meaningful dream. Ambiri.
Like
every day. Yeah.
One person a day, 10 people per day.
I think 2 persons.
Maybe two people.
5 persons.
Yeah. Maybe 2 or 5 people every day.
Yeah.
And is there like a tradition of dreaming in Malawi? Does it go back?
Yeah. Alipo amina amatandiza kwa hantu. Maloto. Ndizinto zotero.
So that was a long, but basically in the first part, Yobu was just saying that you're saying that there are good. Okay, the people who interpret dreams are like people with a spiritual power, and the dream carries a spirit, right? And sometimes it's carrying a good spirit, and sometimes it's carrying a bad spirit. And then about the tradition of dream working, yes, there's a tradition in Malawi like the Singanga, which is a kind of medicine person who would traditionally, but there is a tradition, it does go back. But I didn't get too much more information about it than that. There's a lot of things all there. Yeah.
So I'm wondering, when you guys are playing on stage, do you feel the good dragon?
Well, at the stage, Mamva, like good dragon.
Yeah.
Spirit, yeah, dragon.
Yes.
Backstage,
She's first one to see dream here. Ndikoyamba kulota.
That was here in Europe.
Yeah.
The first big dream that you had here in Europe, that was...
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's good message.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good message. Kundidziwitsa kuti pali zinthu zina zabwino, pali zinthu zina zoyipa.
But this dream was a good message. Sometimes it's a good message, sometimes, but this dream was a good message. You think, yeah?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I feel the dragon when you guys are playing.
Yeah.
It's powerful, it's beautiful, and it's a good dragon. It's very light.
Yeah.
It brings joy. It brings dancing.
Yeah, Mamva, like Tawi, only past stage. Harry said, I also kumva like spirit, yeah, dragon. Good dragon.
Wow. So, do you remember your first big dream when you were young?
Akufunza like, okay, wakumbukira wafuna kozesa maloto wankulu kuno ku Europe koma moyo oyamba zokumbukira like wagalale tawe nyamara kapena mwana.
Yeah.
Kumbukira.
Remember?
Okay. Which one?
She's like ndidalota maloto ngati zomwe za dziko kutha, the end of the world. Ndalota ngati ndikuyenda koma kudali kudambo. Dambo ndini maliyenda ndimayang'ana kudali ku mwezi like moon.
Oh yeah.
Moon. Free moons.
He kind of was walking and he arrived at a kind of marshland, and then he saw three
moons. Yeah. Now me in malondola muno kummawa. Masara mafuna ndione mujanu mwezi kummawa ndione kodi ndorani. Chifana kuti unalipo itatu. We now full, we now half, we now small.
3 moons, like one full, one half, one small.
Okay. That's pretty amazing because I feel I had the same dream.
Oh.
Because often I follow the moon. And in my logo, you have the moon here. And when I was young, from till now, I had a dream of the moon.
Wow.
Huge on the horizon.
Yeah.
And often I go up on the tops here. And I climb up with my cameras. I film the moon. And I set intentions on the new moon. And I celebrate the full moon. And I kind of create sort of little action plans on each phase of the moon. And I had a dream. I was up on the top. It was marshy. One moon here, one moon here, one moon here.
Wow.
In the same sky.
That's great. That's cool.
Yeah.
Same dream.
Yes, same too.
Yeah, we're dream brothers.
Yeah, dream brother.
Wow. It's my brother. Yeah.
And do you have any tradition in Malawi with the moon, association with the moon?
Tradition, yeah. Mwezi yaribo, Malawi.
No.
Anything.
Yeah. Kulibe.
Sure. You're sebe. Like tradition, like chikalidwe cha mwezi, like, okay, tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just saying that, like, especially in the villages, of course, like when there's a full moon, everybody's happy and the kids are out dancing and everything because it's bright, obviously in the village in Malawi, there's no electricity. So the moon is important for just the fact of being bright and going and enjoying.
Yeah. I mean, I think working on the moon is that practical. You know, it is that like, it simply works. It's not like so woo spiritual. And we're like, I don't know, 70% water, and the moon affects the tides. It must affect us, in different ways. But does the moon have any significant meaning in Malawian culture?
Like his meaning of moon, is there something
Symbol.
a symbol like
Name?
mwezi? No, like, well, for one, the word moon is the same as the word month. Obviously, that's pretty similar to English as well, really, I suppose, isn't it? Moon month. So, well, yeah. Anything else like special, like kanya mwezi? Because in England, like, what would you say would be for here? If you would say the same question for you, what would you say?
Well, yeah, I guess I'm sort of building different, because I had this dream, and it's multiple dreams. It's a reoccurring dream, and reoccurring dreams are the most important dreams. So for me, there's a deeper message telling me to proactively work with the moon. And there's much mythology you can read, but I'm trying to go off intuition, like the dreams wisdom. And yeah, so in the new moon, I start setting intentions for the next few weeks, what plans, phone calls, emails to send. And then on the as it changes on the different phases, I look at those plans. So if say we've got the first quarter moon, and that means in a few days we've got the full moon, I think about when the full moon comes, a small or big celebration. I think about I will be grateful for something. I'll put on the Madalitso Band. Do something exciting or a celebration. And that's kind of how I work with it. But I was just interested, your dream with the 3 moons. How did you interpret this?
Like, wow, masul
Okay.
The 3 moons were representing 3 elements.
So the full moon is God, and
the half moon is Jesus.
Yeah.
The small moon is the angel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's looking. All of it is looking down on you, positive, like looking after, nurturing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Samala.
Yes.
Yes, this makes sense to me, because the moon has always been so that the sun gives life to Earth, and the moon reflects the light in the darkness. So when you need the light. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, a beautiful dream.
Yeah. Have you dreamed other time about the moon? Mwezi?
Yeah, 2 times.
2 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So it's reoccurring. Okay. That's powerful. And so, Neil, do you ever take your dreams to Yobu?
Yeah.
Well, like, the whole story is obviously like when we were together. Me, I never really thought much about my dreams, and then last time I'm delving into my own subconscious. I was doing some other work on that, and then when we chatted back in July, or it was July, wasn't it? And I happened to have had a crazy dream that night, which I told you about. And when I asked you, like, you were telling me all this stuff, and I thought it was very interesting. So I asked you, like, so how do you go about remembering more dreams? And you told me I should record them. So I did that. Took you up on the offer. Got 26 dreams now in my my phone recorder. And so I would start telling him, the first one I told both of you about the chewing gum.
Yeah.
I even said it on stage one day, because about kissing the girl and then the mouth turned into chewing gum. He said the symbolism is that it's sweet, So you got to be careful because the girls, got to be careful of girls trying to get me for my money. Ed,
Yeah.
that was like and then
Yeah.
and I need chewing gum.
Chewing gum.
And then you said, okay, you have to be careful because Mina, like other girls, they are attracted to the sweetness of
amakonda chifukwa chazokoma zimene nazo wewe koma chikondi cheni no
it's not love though, but they just want me because of my sweetness. They said I've got to be careful.
Okay, yeah.
My interpretation was the chewing gum was like sticky, so I'm afraid of getting stuck into a relationship.
Oh, and that's the thing. There's always multiple interpretations. That's why if you're stuck in a dream, you should share it. You should share it. But yeah, sometimes it's obvious to you, and the dreamer is always the authority on their own dream. But the problem is we always get stuck to in our own perspective. I've been doing this for years, but I always get advice from other people sometimes because they can see things I can't quite see.
Yeah.
And it's always about, the process is really about trying to listen to your own intuition and your own authority, but sharing it and having someone to hold space for that, and you can help nurture each other.
Definitely. Sometimes I'm just saying that sometimes during the tour I'm just remembering like it'll be the morning and we'll wake up and somebody of the guys will have had a dream and they'll be ominous and they'll say, okay, we have to be careful.
Remember, it's a bad dream. This dream is Arizona.
So he's saying that so he had this experience where he was visited by this vampire, and then it wasn't exactly a dream. He said he could feel like it wasn't really a dream. It was real. And then so I asked, so then did you have a bad day afterwards? He said, no, didn't. Yeah, because I prayed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so
sometimes when you have a bad dream, the solution is to pray.
Yeah, I always just pray. No pray, the bad spirit is calm. Yeah. Pray, always pray. It's good. Yeah. No spirits. It's no bad spirit. Yeah. Yeah.
And how about a dream? I don't know if you guys have been on tour. You had a dream that was like precognitive, like a dream of the future, and it happened, manifested in the tour day or the.
Have you ever had a dream? Walorelelo, and then anachita mawa kapena like sokolo.
Like this is like a vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simachitika.
Like, but tawa ya tour, anything?
Yeah. Simachitika.
Like, for example.
There's a lot.
You had a dream that you were together. Everybody was anakuya, like
angry. Angry. Yes, angry. Second day, exactly. When I say, analo kumudwa okuya.
So monalota, and then mawa watuka, and then everybody.
Yes.
You remember?
You and you fight it.
Right. So he had a dream one time that in the dream, like everybody was really angry, and then the next day, me and Giuseppe got into one. We were at battle, and then everybody was upset.
Oh.
Predicted it.
Did you have any medicine? Did the dream help you prepare for the situation?
Yeah, joyambirira ndafuna kuti together is pray. Yeah, wake up and pray together. Yeah, zikatero ndikuti.
The Mankwala is always praying.
Yeah.
Always praying.
Always pray.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And did you feel that helped, Neil? Did it? You managed to iron it out and be friends?
I can't remember.
You are friends now. Something must have worked.
Yeah. Something interesting I always remember was that when we were in USA. Yeah, we met this Malawian lady who'd come to the show in Washington, D.C. And she came with this velvet bag, like out of a movie, and like, you know, the mpango, the headdress. And she had that very spiritual energy, and she told us all to pick something from the velvet. And we each picked a stone, and on the stone there was a word. My word was faith. And she said to me, "Oh, does that mean anything?" She said, "Yes, that's how I live my life, actually, strangely enough. I leap into the unknown without knowing where it's going to take me, but I just have that belief." And your face was accept, Ed, formaliza. And his was dream. I was like, "Does that mean anything to you?" He's like, "Yes, I am Mr. Dream."
Yeah.
And a question to Joseph. Have you, since meeting Yobu, have you started to dream, or have you always had dreams? Has Yobu influenced your dreams?
Like, tawi munali suna kuma.
Mone konyosa kwambiri ne simple kwambiri ngalo kusa ng'ombe. Okunda amene munthu mkulu muno muchachi muno munthu amene.
Nali where?
Nali.
So he said, "No, I've always had dreams. I've always had dreams." And he's also just like telling about one of his most powerful dreams, which was being in a big forest, and there was all the animals. The animals, amenyana.
Yeah.
Amenyana.
Yeah, zinyama.
Zinyama. All the animals were
Big
fighting.
animals.
Yeah, they were all fighting each other. And there was a big church covered in gold, a huge church, all ornamented. And then they were all waiting for the boss of the church to come back.
Yeah.
And it was him. He was the boss of the church. And when he arrived, he said, "Oh, you're here, finally." And he was like, "Oh, it's me. I'm the Modabwa." Like, didn't they? Like, "Oh, is it me? I'm the boss of this big church." Okay. Thank you. Oh, the big one is me. Okay, fine. I'm here now.
So, how did you work with that dream? Did that dream help you give confidence?
Like, wow, after that dream, Ed.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Maloto mene anasinta moyo yano. Like, chifukwa cha maloto. Like, wazuka, like, "Oh, mina dini makulo so."
Na ndiji mwa basi. Sangala ko basi.
He was very happy. So wasita moyo, like wazuka, like, okay.
Timwe mo ba na sangala ko basi.
Yeah, I was just so happy, like, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're the boss of your own fate.
Hey.
Empowered, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a story about you were mentioning about there was a light in the sky. I don't know how to prime this story.
Okay, Ujin. Munali furo was a tawizina, like, kani, munali mozi.
Sana kazikike bwino.
You were just beginning to learn about the Bible, yeah?
And there are as prophet, I think 54.
Sunalote.
No, it's true.
Yeah, no, but yeah, okay, carry on.
Yeah. Atandifotokozera mas prophet okwanira 50.
Yeah, there was a 50-year-old.
Prophetic. Vunduza kuti.
Zaka 50?
No.
No.
Mas prophet. Masbusa.
Yeah.
Is coming in my home.
Okay.
And vunduza kuti I am prophet, big prophet. And there inasema kulubirira.
Yes. So around that time he was beginning to learn, and then this big prophet came to his house and told him that he's a prophet, but he didn't believe it.
Nditanyamuka ndizangana sirima nkarimba magirara pali.
Yeah, they were beginning to play music. They were walking around on the streets.
Ndafika pena pake padalise watala palingazini. Paja.
They found, they were in a certain area of Lilongwe.
Ndamuza uyo kuti tikhalika basi fune muona mdima maso.
Like, so he said to my friend, "Hey, can I sit down?" Because his eyes were going dark. He couldn't see.
Ndimafuna kugona.
I wanted to sleep.
Yeah. Datopo kwa basi.
I was just so tired, just like suddenly.
Ndimadziva nga ndikudwala koma simadwala.
Thinking like maybe I'm sick, but I wasn't sick.
Kenaka ndakhala pasi ndizangayo.
I sat down, my friend.
Ndakhala kenaka. Ndenda kuti titimirire kuti zipita.
Said, like, "Hey, let's go."
Koma nditangoyimirira chinandiuza chino tiyang'ana dzuwalo.
Then we looked up, and then you saw, like, it was like something like the sun.
Ndidangona Yeah, peace and peace. Pakatipa, the coming fire. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just getting that. So, walking down the street, he said he felt sick. Everything went dark, sat down, got up to go, and they looked up and they saw the sun, but then the sun got cut in half, like it got split in half, like it was torn. And then from the center of the sun came a fire.
Fire come to me.
Yeah, coming to him.
Ndocha. Mava kutentha kenaga basi nda kakwera kukuja. Kugwa kachine chandikanga. Ndakakwera pansi kupo.
So they kind of just came and struck him and knocked him down to the ground.
Kale basi ndagona tulo flat.
Just like that on the floor.
I think 10 minutes, 10, 15, 30 minutes.
Maybe 30
wake up.
minutes. And then he woke up.
So see different anything.
30 minutes later, I kind of woke up and everything.
The fly
different.
people, the angelical fly.
He's seeing the angels flying.
Yeah, and see anything, anything in the person.
Body,
people,
like my bones.
yeah.
And then I could see inside the person. Like fupa.
Yeah, fupa, yeah. And everything.
Everything.
Yeah, problem. Yeah, you see.
The person's problems and everything. Okay.
Yeah. Now she's now to vision anything at any time. Vision, yeah.
After that moment.
Then
From that moment, he was beginning to have visions and see.
Okay. And you saw this. You were there.
You were together.
Yeah.
Well, I saw moto. Huh?
You know that mangan. Moto, the whoops and the poop.
Moto. He was there, but he's what he's saying, hey, the fire's coming. Everything's happening. He was like, what? I couldn't see it himself.
You couldn't see it.
No.
Okay.
I think one day, remember flying from the Angelico? Sapo.
Kwa isabu hiyo. Ndona ngero.
Unaona now?
Sinaona.
Do you remember the time we were in Chisapo? There was those angels flying. So they say, yeah, but I didn't see them. You saw them now.
Ziwa. Ziwa ndari muna mzimbuza amene bwanji ziwa ine wahamba chocho. Zodabwitsa.
Yeah. Every day to working in the place, playing in the music, you see problem in the people. Yeah. I think one day is challenging people. Yeah.
So after this time, it's like when people come to actually get healed, so he said he's able to see problems and then he prays for them. So that's why now people come to his house for these prayers. So seeing through
another layer of reality.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
Hey.
Okay, so I think you guys have got to play a gig tonight. I'd love to carry on speaking, but we've got a crowd awaiting. Is there anything about dreaming? Anything else you'd like to share?
Anything else?
Maloto.
Anything else?
Yeah. Abraham.
Just to say that, even though there's some people in the world that believe in dreams and there's some people that don't, but dreams carry a message. Sometimes it's about something that's happening now, or it could be something from the past, or it could be something from the future. And in the whole world, even if it's just, I didn't understand it fully, but one person in the house.
One person in the house or a village or area, one person.
If they believe in the dreams.
Believe in dreams, yeah.
Then that's good.
Yeah.
So make sure that the children know that, it's not everybody that can do this thing, but you should let them know that, that is possible, that someone will have this gift, which is to understand dreams, and they should know that is there. So they're aware that in case they have that gift, that they should be aware of it, and that people should remember that there is such a thing as reading of dreams.
Beautiful. What a beautiful way to end it. thanks for getting to the end of this podcast, although it's not quite the end because I have some thoughts and reflections to share. But before that, I must thank the Folklore Centre for hosting us. And much praise goes out to Louis Sweeting for doing the production sound and Matthew Williams for doing the post-production sound. Without you guys, it would not be the quality product that it is. I'd also like to thank the universe for sending Yobu and his companions my way. It's funny, I've been deep diving into my dreams, perhaps my whole life, but much more thoroughly in the last 5 years or so. And I've been putting on the Madalitso Band for about 4 years. And it wasn't until very recently I discovered that Yobu translates people's dreams. And I just think that's really funny and very synchronous, and it's absolutely perfect. And part of the reason I started up this channel is to illustrate the power of our nighttime dreams, and also show kind of all of the synchronicities that happen in and around me. And why does so many synchronicities happen in and around me? I would argue that is because I work with my nighttime dreams. I work proactively with them. I process them. I create action plans from those dreams, and I put those plans into action, and things start coming together in a way that perhaps my egoic self might not have planned, but certainly I am enjoying how things seem to work out. So definitely appreciate it and recommend you start working with your nighttime dreams and living a more full life. So reflections on the podcast. I must also thank Neil for doing the translation, and Neil himself admitted that he might have missed bits of nuance here and there. And, it's funny because a couple of days after recording this podcast, I ended up meeting a professional translator. And he was explaining to me how some languages have a specific word, whereas none of the other languages have a word for that. So that becomes very hard to translate, lost in translation. And then sometimes someone might say something that you can directly translate, but has a deep emotion, which changes the way the interpreter might interpret the words in order to include the emotion. And again, you're never getting like for like. And, it makes me think of a quote from Carl Jung, which I do not quite exactly remember, but the gist of it is something like the unconscious has a really hard time in communicating with us. From working proactively with my nighttime dreams, I've discovered that that is indeed true. It's using all sorts of like visual, sometimes sound, story, narrative prompts to get us to wake up and look at certain aspects of ourselves. And it might be, years, you might write down a dream, and then years later it will suddenly start making sense. And I've known that I've had situations where symbols were coming to me in my waking life that were warning me of not to get involved with certain people. And hindsight's a great thing, isn't it? I discover it in hindsight. But now I'm better at working with my nighttime dreams, seeing the symbols. Now I can start seeing certain warning signs that I wouldn't have seen before. Another reason to start working proactively with our nighttime dreams. So I was really heartened to hear that the people of Malawi work and listen to each other's dreams. And the way I translate that, the way I understand that is, I would assume the people of Malawi know each other on a deeper level, on a feeling, emotional level, and also know how to hopefully nurture each other's, the aspects of each other that want to come up to the surface, give birth to new, exciting, vital aspects of each other. So Yobu's first big dream in Europe about the dragons, amazing. Yeah, so I would imagine the first time you're coming to Europe would be quite daunting. New territory, new languages. Will the music translate? Will it work out financially? All these questions, insecurities and stuff. And then unconscious sense, this beautiful dream where the good dragon prevails and takes him to his musical partner on the clouds. Amazing. And if you ever get a chance to go see Madalitso Band, I highly recommend it. You can feel that kind of good dragon, kind of shamanic energy. They're probably the most uplifting band I have in my music collection. Everything is much very gloomy in comparison. But maybe that's just my taste generally, but I'm grateful for having the Madalitso Band in my collection now. Okay, so what does it mean to have the same dream as somebody? Okay, so I think universally, what does that mean? I think it means pay attention to that dream, and then what does this specific dream, more specifically, what does this dream mean to me? Yobu's had it. I've had a very similar dream. It's absolutely fascinating to get to speak to a dreamer from a whole culture that is very foreign to me, very unknown. And I think it's kind of fascinating to when we reach out, we learn about other cultures, is perhaps we can draw this Venn diagram of this is how I experience life and this is how you experience life, and the common ground is probably pointing towards a sort of deeper truth of what it is to be human. And yes, on the topic of dreams, especially, I thought it was quite fascinating looking at that, because for Yobu, you had the full moon as God, the half moon as Jesus, and the crescent moon, the small moon, as the angels. So that's not something that has ever come up for me before in my dreams, associating with the moon. But I tell you what does is I work proactively with the moon, as I said, to kind of use it as like sort of a life coach to help guide me, push me forward in life, set goals, reevaluate those goals, create celebrations, let go of things, be grateful for things. And so the moon nurtures me, and I feel Yobu is really saying that in that dream the moons were nurturing him, and that's the common ground, and that's what I feel points to the deeper truth there. I think his medicine of praying after a dream, so where's my common ground there? Praying is not something I do so much, I suppose, but I think that, if you've ever had to sort of face death, like I have, or faced great unknown, I think praying could be a psychological tool that could help you get to stability, and some dreams can be very dark, can't they? So I think calling in light, a higher self, can be great medicine for those situations. And I guess Yobu was using it to, he had that precognitive dream of people falling out the next day, people falling out, and then he got them together to pray, which I think is very sweet and beautiful, but quite powerful too. I imagine it would be a uniting sort of force, sort of a desire that people get on. It's very simple, but very potent and true. I kind of mention at some point, I sort of talk about the moon and praying, and I sort of say when you need the light. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. You know, when there will be times in your experience where things will be overwhelming, and you will need some kind of sense of nurturing, some sense of light, guidance. And you know, it doesn't mean you have to sign up to any kind of organized religion or believe in God or whatever. You just I suppose for me, you know, I've had so many dreams where some kind of sense of a higher self or higher power has been present, and I work with those dreams proactively because I have that memory of that experience, and I call in the feelings and the power of that experience in these times, and it really helps me. Yeah, like if you don't feel like you've had any of these experiences, I recommend you start writing down your dreams. Okay. At some point you will be having some experiences that perhaps the logical mind is struggling to explain rationally, but they are undeniable experiences all the same. I loved Yosef's dream of the church. Okay, so the way I'd work with that dream is like, you know, sometimes in life we look up to the grandeur and we see things as above us. And of course, you know, you can be incredibly arrogant doing that, assuming that you've got this lofty position, but then the opposite is true, of course, isn't it? You cannot recognize your own power, and dream work really is about starting to understand, know thyself, and recognizing your own skills and power, and bringing them into your waking life and benefiting from that. And I love that. Like, oh, I'm the boss of the church, you know. And the way I work with that as well is like, you know, I'm the boss of my understanding of reality, and the dreamer is always the boss of their own dream. Okay. We've got to be careful in telling other people what their dreams mean. We must approach it like what their dreams mean to us and how we'd work with it, you know. Want to avoid kind of projection and assuming. So yeah, I loved the final message. Yobu said, like, dreams carry a message, and that's essentially, yes, that's how I understand them. Dreams carry a message. And as for the story of his awakening, becoming a prophet, wow, I wish we had more time to work through that one, but we had limited time at Folklore Centre. They had a gig to play, so hopefully this story will evolve, and we'll be able to chat more to Yobu and his brothers in the future, and I'm sure some powerful dreams are yet to come. So if you're interested in how the story might evolve, please follow this YouTube channel. If you're interested in getting help processing your nighttime dreams, you can book me on my website. Please find the links below, and meanwhile, sweet dreams.